What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today is our 1 week review having this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe XRT. So we're gonna go over what it's been like driving this every single day, things that we like, things that we don't like. With the XRT trim level, it's right in the middle, right around $35,000. And right off the bat, one thing that we love about the exterior is this Hampton gray, especially with the black wheels. It just gives it a really cool design for this type of vehicle. So let's go ahead and do a quick look at the interior. You'll see we have some really nice trim. We have the cloth seats here. A lot of fancy buttons to go through with the different driving modes, the large screen there. And then looking at the back seats here, we have all of our stuff in here, of course. There's actually a good amount of space though. I've been riding in the back here, which we'll go over. And then last up is the cargo area, which is very versatile. We even have hidden storage space up underneath. So if you have boxes or whatever in the back, you can actually lift up the floor here. Brian was even able to put groceries up under here when he went grocery shopping, just so they wouldn't roll around. So it's really nice to have something like that, especially for this family SUV. But now let's get this out on the road. So now that we are out on the road in this 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe, this has been a really cool SUV that we've had. And for the price point too, I think that's one of the biggest pluses that we'll go over and we'll start with today, is the fact that how affordable this is, especially in today's market.
Yeah, the average price of a new car is like 40 grand now. This
40,
car
45
is so much less than that, to where you really get so much value. And Hyundai, I think, does such a good job with, you get so much for the money. Like a family SUV that has this type of sizing and just practicality and some really nice technology for not being fully loaded. What a deal. Like, really, what a deal.
Some of that tech includes the full radar cruise, which I was surprised that it had. We have the steering assist as well, and it's a really good system. We've used that. Actually, I'll go ahead and set it now since we have traffic in front of us. It's a really easy system. I already have it set. I have the distance I want to go, and you're ready to go. If you want a little bit of assistance there, it doesn't really kind of kick you out. Obviously you have to be paying attention. It pretty much have your hands on the wheel.
It pretty much will drive autonomously, like with the steering assist on the highway and stuff. It will do roads, it will do turns, and it eventually yells at you.
Keep hands on steering wheel
to tell you to do that, but it does a really good job, and it does full speed radar. I didn't expect this system in a car this price, and I didn't expect it to work amazing. Like, it works exactly the way you'd want it.
It's almost easier than some other vehicles we've been in that are more expensive, where you have to push a button here, do this. Like, it's just a one-touch button.
Very good.
And you're set to go. You
get your drive modes and things like that, you know, heated seats, the camera. So it's got a good amount of tech for not being like the Limited or the Calligraphy. It's a good middle-of-the-road Santa Fe trim, obviously.
Yep.
And I think for the price, you definitely get a lot. If you do want a little bit more luxuries, you know, leather, sunroof, maybe ventilated seats, a few more things, you can obviously get a higher trim level. And even the Limited, I drove one last year, it was like 41 grand, and I was blown away. Yeah,
I mean, Hyundai's and Kia as well, they've been kicking it. They have great warranties and stuff too. I mean, it's a good overall package. So what, you don't need all those bells and whistles.
Yeah, so what do you not like? The biggest thing for me, so the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine is what you're gonna get in all Santa Fe's. The two top level ones get a turbocharger attached, and those pack a nice punch. This one I find to be a little sluggish, a little bit too slow for my taste. It's fine for normal driving, like, it's fine. But when you actually have to merge into quicker traffic, I've noticed I floored it pedal to the floor, and I'm like trying to get the car to go because there's cars coming up.
You're getting to the power almost towards red line situations.
You really ring it out, and you know, if basically it's not bad. It's just if you're gonna be merging into high traffic, make sure there's a pretty big gap because you really got to pin it to try to get up to speed. I think for the sizing and the weight of the vehicle, they could pick a better base engine with maybe a little bit more power. I'm pretty sure they got a 1.8 turbo that probably makes more power and torque. So it's just a little lacking for my taste. The 8-speed is fine. The drive modes don't really seem to do much, I would say, because it doesn't have any power to play with.
Just changing the gauge cluster there and make it a little bit more sporty. Yeah. Things like that.
Another thing, so they all have this digital display. I don't know if the base model and the one above that has it. The only thing with this car not being a fully loaded one, the digital screen doesn't really do anything. It's just, it looks like that. And the only thing is when you go to sport mode, you get the cool red and carbon fiber look. So not really anything crazy. I think the bigger ones, you might get your nav that pops up, the cameras pop up, which is cool. So it's probably a cost-cutting, you know, way to go, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But my only gripe really just a little under power for a base engine. Again, not bad. It's just I like more power.
It feels like you have to use that higher RPM range just to get moving.
Yeah, especially normal driving is fine. It's just when you got to get into traffic. A little sluggish.
I think that's almost it though. Yeah. You spent a little bit more time in it than I did, but
I really like
find anything.
I like the extra storage you get under here. That seemed, I didn't even remember about it for the first few days.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put stuff in the door, and then I'm like, I got a big old cubby here. Why don't I use it?
One thing that I don't like about it is you could forget something's down there just because you look for everything, and if you're not used to it, obviously if you own it and you get used to it, it's
that
there.
comes with time.
Yeah, but
another thing I like is the wireless phone charging is in a slot, which I think is a really good way to maximize space, because every other car you put it face down like this to where it takes up, 7 inches by 3 inches of space. This takes up 2 millimeters of space.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's a very good use of space in this car. And then you have your hidden storage for another cup holder.
Yeah.
I did notice I was putting granola bars right here. Every time I put my water bottle out, they'd fall into the cup holder, which was kind of annoying. But again, I forget to put them down here.
Yeah.
So pretty good use of storage space. Door pockets are big. You even got the handles, which can double as storage. Roomy. I love the third row, those foam sections. We went grocery shopping. Or it's not third row, the cargo area, and I put all my cold stuff in there, and being all foam, I felt like everything stayed insulated. Yeah. So you're gonna be using this for grocery shopping. This is gonna be your family SUV. You can load up that section with all your cold stuff and put everything else on top of the floor. So they just really good package, I'd say.
I was also going to add on, we've been using this to move for the week, and so along with the storage space up underneath, even when you fold the seats down, you can pack this full of anything that you want. Yeah. So we did very minimal trips because we could put in a lot of items in the back there. So it's great for just moving anything in general. If you need that space, quickly fold the seats down, and I like you got a mini pickup almost.
With those seats, it's just one lever to fold them down. You don't have to pull at the base and then do this, take the headrest off. Just one lever, and you have buttons in the third row or the cargo area. Yeah, which is really convenient.
It's a quick system. A lot of vehicles now are getting electronic seats, which some of them work really nicely. But even though these are manual, they work just as quick. Yeah. So it's nice. Those buttons in the back are a really cool addition. And
I like how the rear passengers, they get climate control, they get reclining seats, the center armrest, and the sunshades. I didn't expect that in a $35,000 car. Yeah. So, I don't know, it's a good blend. I think if you're in the market for just that family SUV, you're not looking to spend crazy money, you're not looking for crazy performance like a European car. Yeah. The Santa Fe overall I think is a great option. When I drove a Limited last year, I was really, really impressed. Personally, I would buy that one just because I would want the panoramic roof, the smart park system, the turbo engine, the leather. But even then, 40 grand, that's an average price. Yeah. And of course you get the calligraphy for a little bit more luxuries, but I think a good base, and heck, if you go with a base model, if you just want the sizing, not as much tech, it's like even cheaper.
Now, one more thing positive, I think, before we try to pick it apart with some other things, is the fact that, well, we still have 36 miles left on our range. This has been, of the vehicles we've had for a week, we've been able to drive the farthest with this. The MPG in this is pretty impressive. So, I mean, you can drive this every single day, especially with gas prices, if people are worried about that a little bit. I mean, we've been able to go, we've driven a lot. We've gone a lot of places in this thing. Yeah, it's very fuel efficient if that's something that's important to you. Very
well rounded. I don't really have any other nitpicky complaints, just little underpowered for the base engine. I'd like to see a better base model engine. Yeah.
But that's how it's affordable too. So it's not performance, but it could use a little bump.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just a little bit more torque in this. But overall, I think, like I said, if you're just looking for a good all-around family SUV, look at the Santa Fe. You got 5 trim levels.
Low fuel. Just as we talk about it.
5 different trim levels, so you can really get one that works. And the styling, I think, looks great. It's very unique.
Very nice,
because you think the headlights are headlights, but those are the daytime running lights. The headlights are down low. It's much different than other SUVs, which I think in today's market, they all are looking the same. It's just copy-paste.
Yeah, it's not very boxy like all the modern cars now. It's got a more of a sleek design to it, which is nice.
And the color options, this color looks great. I filmed a lighter gray color last year.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I've seen, actually, before we got this, I saw like 20 of them the same day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, we're getting a Santa Fe, and look what I'm seeing. Yeah. So definitely put it on the list. I think I would personally buy one if I was, I'm too much of a gearhead to probably go with something like this, just because I want 500 horsepower in my SUV.
Well, let's give it an acceleration for them since we haven't yet.
Sport mode.
Ready? Pedal to the floor.
See, it's just, the turbo engine is where it's at.
And we're up to speed.
The turbo engine is where it's at. This is fine for normal stuff, just...
You punch it, it's not as quick as it should or needs to be.
Yeah, it's not bad, just,
But
But yeah, I think that's about it overall.
It's nice.
Can't complain too much. Again, the price point, you get so much for the money for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's gonna wrap it up, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Give it a huge thumbs up if you did. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. Check out the full detailed review as well of this exact model. That'll be down in the description below. And we'll see you guys in the next video.